Hey everybody, and welcome to this 1202 lesson where today we are going through exam objective 1.8. We're going to have a look at the common features and tools of the macOS desktop operating system. Let's go ahead and get into it. Tell you everything you need to know. At the end, I will give you some practice questions as usual. So, before we get started, my name is Matt. I help people pass their A+ Core 1 and Core 2 exams, whether it's your 1101, 1102, 1201, or 1202 exam. I've helped this person pass, this person pass, this person pass, this person pass. So stick with me, subscribe, like, comment, etc. Say hello, and I will help you pass as well. Let's get started with the different file types on macOS. So the first one is a .dmg or disk image. So essentially, this is a virtual disk that behaves like a physical drive when it is mounted. It ensures the integrity of the contained software through read-only format. In order to install a disk image or .dmg, you're going to have to double-click in order to mount. You then drag the app to the applications folder. So you double-click, drag to the applications folder, all right? After installation, you can eject the DMG and delete the file because that application will be installed, all right? The next one is the package or the .pkg. Terrible AI image over here. Forgive that, but it helps me avoid copyright, which allows me to deliver this to you speedily and ready for you to learn. So the .pkg is a package, and this is the standard macOS installer package for complex installations. It's similar to an executable installer on Windows. So you know on Windows you have .exe, Mac you've got .pkg. It has scripts for multiple components and system services. It requires elevated privileges for changing the system level changes. In order to install this, you double click, which launches the installer, and it will guide you through that process. So far we've got two. The first one is the DMG. You double click, you drag the application over. You got the PKG. You double click, it will launch an automated installer program that guides you through the process, all right? Then we have the app, which is the application bundle. This is the actual application executable on Mac OS. So technically it is a bundle, which is a special folder containing all of the components. It includes the executable code, resources, frameworks, and support files that you need to run the application. In order to install, you drag the app into the applications folder. Boom, done. Easy, easiest one so far, all right? Now, we also need to know about the App Store. The App Store is Apple's official digital distribution platform for macOS, and essentially, it's where they have their apps, right? Generally, you can click on Get for a free app, or you can click on Buy for a paid application. Just know the App Store is where Apple keeps all of their approved applications. Some of them are free, some of them are not free, all right? Now, uninstallation process. There's different ways of uninstalling these different file types that we have just discussed, depending on what you want to do and depending on how detailed you want to be and depending on the type of file we're talking about. So for App Store apps, you can just drag the application from the applications folder to the trash. Empty the trash to finally fully remove the app and its associated files. But for apps not from the App Store, you're going to have to use a dedicated uninstaller provided by the developer if that is available. If you can't do that or don't want to do that, you can also drag the non-App Store app to the trash and then use a third-party uninstaller tool to find and remove leftover files, because just because you drag it to the trash doesn't mean there's not leftover files kind of lingering behind. Finally, always ensure that the important data or preferences are backed up before you uninstall, just to make sure you don't lose anything in the process. Now, for app bundles, you can just drag it to the trash, empty that trash bin, right? Drag the app to the trash, empty the trash, boom, done. If you've downloaded something from the App Store, you can go to the App Store and click on uninstall, right? So you can go to Mac App Store, you can uninstall through the Launchpad. Go to Open Launchpad, which is like, if you're on Mac, you should know what the Launchpad is. It's like the thing, you open it up and it shows you everything you've got. So click and hold the app icon in Launchpad, until all icons begin to jiggle, and then a small little X appear, and you can click on that X to delete that application, all right? Using dedicated uninstallers. So this is a complex thing that you might need to do with third-party applications, all right? Complex applications may include their own uninstaller utility, particularly common with PKG installations or professional software, designed to remove all of the associated files so nothing gets left behind. It's located in the application folder, utilities folder, or system settings is where those files might be, right? So you might have some of those files, drivers, preferences located in those areas. It ensures thorough removal of all application-related data, and it removes components not contained within the main app bundle. So basically, it just removes everything, so you'll never know it was there. Manual deletion of related files. Residual files may remain after a standard uninstallation. You might find these files in library application support, in library preferences, or in library caches. Generally harmless and don't impact the system performance, but you might want to get rid of them. In which case, go to these files and just delete them manually. But deleting the incorrect files can affect other applications, so make sure you look twice, you measure twice and cut once, as they say. Now, key stuff you need to really make sure you remember. The DMG is installed by dragging the app to the applications folder after you double click. The PKG is a guided launcher, and the app, you just drag it directly over. So DMG, you double click, then drag it into applications. PKG, guided installer, and the app, you just drag it straight over. Now, system folders you need to know about, right? macOS organizes its files into several key system folders, and each has a specific purpose. So the applications folder is the primary default location for most installed applications. Functionally, that's what you need to know. That's about it. The users folder is the top level directory containing separate home directory for each user. It contains all user specific data and settings. If you want data settings about users, you go to the users folder. That's where it is. All right, library is the system-wide folder for storing shared resources and configurations. It is a central location for non-user specific support files. It contains application support, caches, extensions, fonts, frameworks. It includes launch daemons for system-level background processes, system-wide preferences and services. It requires administrator privileges for access or modification. Okay. System folder has critical folder documents for operating system files. It houses fundamental elements essential for macOS to boot and to function. It contains a macOS kernel, system frameworks, and essential applications. Okay, so it is protected by Apple's System Integrity Protection, and modification is highly discouraged. Don't do it, guys. Forget about it. You want to change it? Don't. Leave it alone. It's like that smelly homeless guy at the back of the bus. Don't touch him. Don't smell him. Just, he's fine, you know? Just don't go anywhere near it. All right. Now, users/library or ./library is a hidden folder within each user's home directory. It stores user-specific application data and preference files. It contains user caches and other support files. So you've got Safari data and user preferences. You've got the fact that it is hidden by default is there because they want to prevent accidental modification. So again, really, just know about this, but you don't have to touch it, okay? So everything we just went over there is the application folder is where your applications are kept. Users folder is where the separate home directories for each user account is kept. Library is a system-wide resources and configurations, which are shared by all users. And system relates to core operating system files protected by SIP, and the library, well, the squiggly line dash library is a hidden user-specific application data and preferences folder, okay? Just kind of, when you get questions on these, it might ask you what data goes in what folder. Based on what we just went through, have a broad understanding, you should be okay. You should be able to make your way through that kind of question. Now, Apple ID and corporate restrictions. What is Apple ID? It is a personal online account for everything Apple. It enables app downloads from the App Store, provides access to iCloud services, and is required for various Apple services and features. Corporate restrictions. What does this refer to? This means that you may have some specific restrictions in your corporate environment as to what you can or cannot do. So generally, this is achieved through mobile device management solutions. It allows IT to remotely configure devices and deploy apps, and also enforce security policies, such as strong passcodes and encryption. Control access to device features and functionalities, and managed Apple IDs are controlled by the company. So your Apple ID might be controlled by your company if you're in a corporate setting, okay? So limit access to personal services like App Store and purchases are things that your corporate restrictions will likely do. They want you to stay focused on business. All right, what did we just go through? We just went through the fact that your Apple ID is a personal online account for everything Apple. Corporate restrictions, use mobile device management to make sure you're doing the right thing. All right, and IT can remotely configure your devices using that MDM. Functionality may be limited by your corporate restrictions. That's pretty much everything we just went through there, everything you need to know. Now we're going to go through some best practices. All right, so backups. Before you change anything, make a backup. Before you look at your computer, make a backup. If you're going to change anything about anything, make a backup. Functionally, that's what those dot points boil down to. Antivirus, always have it installed, always have it running. There's pretty much no real reason why you would want to not have that running. Make sure it is there. Make sure it is up to date. Make sure it has up-to-date signatures. Do not skip an update. If you skip an update, you are more likely to suffer a threat successfully making its way through your defenses. So have an antivirus, have it active, have it up to date. Updates and patches, always install the most recent patch because that is going to give you the most recent up-to-date features, and it is going to provide you with protection against any recently discovered vulnerabilities which have been fixed in that patch. Now, rapid security response. What is this? This is a specific type of software update from Apple. It is available for your iOS, iPadOS, and macOS. Basically, it delivers critical security fixes faster than the standard OS update. So its priority is on security fixes. It addresses urgent zero-day vulnerabilities quickly. Remember, zero-day is like someone has found a new vulnerability and they've successfully attacked with it. Now we've learned about it because we've been attacked with it. We've got to fix it right now, all right? So it reduces the window of opportunity for attackers. Rapid security response, or RSR, is an update specifically and urgently focused on security fixes. That's pretty much what you need to know. Have a read of that. That's what we just went over. I'm not going to read over it again because I am losing my voice, ladies and gentlemen. System settings is another thing we need to know about. So in your settings, you have displays. Anything related to a display, a connected display, extending a display, duplicating a display is going to be in the displays setting. Honestly, you don't need to know much more than that. If you wanted to enable night-friendly light to reduce blue light, you can enable a feature called Night Shift in your display setting, right? You can arrange multiple monitors. Anything about displays, it's going to be in display. Other than that, broadly, you'll be able to work it out. Trust me, guys. Networks is, of course, where we're going to configure and manage all network-related connections. Things such as Wi-Fi, Ethernet, Bluetooth, and VPNs. You're going to set up your IP addresses, configure DNS settings, and ensure proper connection to internet and local network resources. That's going to be in networks. All right, networks. Printers. Guess what you're going to do in printers? You're going to organize and set up your printers. That's about it. You really don't need me to say any more. Scanners. Okay, this is going to manage your connected scanning devices. You can add and remove scanners, initiate scanning processes directly from settings, and configure specific scan settings such as resolution, color mode, save location. All right. And then you've got privacy. So anything relating to changing your privacy settings, you're going to go into privacy. You got it. So app permissions, what can specific apps do? Can they access your microphone? Can they access your camera? Can your device access your location? Control advertising tracking preferences, vital for protecting your sensitive information, etc. You get it. If it's privacy related, it's in the privacy settings. Accessibility. If you're looking at helping someone who may have a disability to access your device, you're going to be using the accessibility settings feature. So you can do things like zoom, display adjustments, captions, audio adjustments, any kind of adjustments, motor skills adjustments. It's going to be an accessibility. All right. And then Time Machine is Mac OS's integrated backup utility. So enable this to make sure you always have a backup at regular intervals. Automatically backs up the entire system to external drive or network storage. Okay. Now you can use this to restore your system if anything goes wrong later on down the track. Here's everything we just went through. Have a read, make sure you understand it. Let's move on to features. So multiple desktop or spaces is basically, look, I'm on a Windows, so I can't show you the Mac version, but basically it's this, right? If I swipe up, actually no, I can't show you because if I try my camera will disconnect, all right? My camera will disconnect and it'll stop filming. But if I swipe up on my Windows with 4 fingers, I can quickly swipe between different desktops. And that's essentially what this is in macOS as well. You can have multiple different desktops. So if I have my university assignment on this desktop, I can quickly swipe with 4 fingers across and switch to my next desktop, which will have all my video game stuff. So when my university professor isn't looking, I can just play video games and flunk out on uni. If that's what you want to do, that's what you can do. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. So don't do that, guys. Now, mission control is a function in macOS which provides comprehensive bird's eye view of all open windows. Now I can show you the Windows equivalent. It's basically this. I swipe up with 3 fingers. I can see all of my open apps. I can see, hello, I'm down there in the camera. I can see OBS recording my thing. I can see Windows PowerShell over here. All right. So I can see everything here. That's basically the same thing on Mac. It does that. Keychain is macOS's built-in secure password management system. It acts as encrypted container for sensitive information, and it stores websites, logins, and Wi-Fi passwords securely. It simplifies your login processes and promotes strong, unique passwords. All right, so Keychain is the password management system on Mac. If you understand that, you'll be okay. Spotlight, it's basically the system that you use to search your Mac system. You just type in and you can find what you're looking for. So it's macOS's powerful universal search and quick access tool. Rapidly find your files, applications, documents, and emails. If a question is asking, hey, how do you search your Mac quickly without manually flicking through files, you would use your Spotlight feature. And then iCloud is Apple's suite of cloud services, everything in one, seamlessly integrated all together and synchronized photos, documents, contacts, etc. All right. iCloud is Apple's integration of all the different cloud services, all synchronized, such as iMessage, FaceTime, iCloud Drive, things to that effect. Now, gestures is just things such as swiping with 2 fingers does one thing, swiping with 4 fingers does another thing, right? You can change what different gestures do. Gestures just refers to, on your Mac, different gestures do different things. And Finder is the foundational application and graphical user interface shell for macOS, the primary tool for navigating, organizing, and managing files. Right? You're clicking through your folders, you're clicking on things, it's Finder. You find things with Finder. And Dock is just a little dock down the bottom of the screen. Is there another good example here? Is it in any of these? Yes. So if we look at this one, just this little thing down here, that's the dock. Just all your applications that are open. You can change how big it is if you want, change how big the icons are, etc. But easy access to regularly used programs down there. And you can choose what programs are shown in your dock down below. Continuity is a suite of features for seamless integration across Apple devices. When I've been filming 4 or 5 videos in a row, my voice just starts streaming off and doing random things. So apologies for that. It works with iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple Watch. Just understand that continuity is designed to keep your integration across your variety of Apple devices, which is one reason people like Apple so much. You got an iPhone, you got an iMac, right? Everything's continuous across. You can synchronize everything, all right? That's everything we talked about. Pause, have a read. But we're going to go ahead and look at Disk Utility now. So Disk Utility is a built-in Mac OS app for managing all connected storage. If you want to manage anything about your connected storage, you're going to go ahead and use Disk Utility. You can use it to do first aid. You can erase or format your drive. You can chop it up into different partitions. You can mount or unmount it. You can restore, which copies the entire disk contents or restores disk images, or you can show all devices, which will view and manage entire physical drives that you have connected, all right? Filevault is another feature. It's Apple's full disk encryption. Really, you just need to know that. Filevault is full disk encryption for Apple. It protects sensitive data from unauthorized access. It's essential if your Mac gets lost or stolen, because even if they have access to your physical drive, they cannot access your data. Okay, so you've got the terminal. That's like on Windows, I have Windows PowerShell. On Mac, they have terminal. You're just using text-based commands to powerfully interact with your system, and it provides direct text-based interaction with your operating system. You can execute commands for advanced system management, just like we went over in Exam Objective 1.5 when we were doing the commands cd, dir, etc. terminals, where you do that stuff on Mac. All right, and then force quit. If an application isn't working, you can use the force quit feature to shut it down, but you may lose any unsaved data, and you may experience data loss next time you open it up. So that is the trade-off, okay? Now, let's go ahead and get into some questions before I go insane, because I've been talking for about 4 hours straight. Question 1 reads, for applications distributed as a .dmg file, which of the following is the standard method of installation? Is it A, double-click the DMG to launch a guided installer? Is it B, drag the app from the mounted disk image to the applications folder? Is it C, open the terminal and use a command to install the package? Or is it D, right-click the DMG file and select install from the context menu? Pause the video if you need more time. Your answer coming after my sip. Let's go. It is B. You drag the app from the mounted disk image to the applications folder. You can read this if you want, guys, but we went over how with different file types will depend on how you install. The DMG, you double click and drag it over. App, you just drag it over. And the PKG is a guided installer, okay? You're gonna probably need to know those differences there. The next question reads, which system folder is the primary location for applications that are available to all user accounts on the Mac? Is it A, applications, B, users, C, library, or D, system? Your answer in 3, 2, 1, now. It is, what? Oh yeah, no, sorry, I misread the question. I was like, it said users, so it's gonna be users, right? No. The primary locations for applications that are available to all users is applications, which was A. So the correct answer is A, applications, all right? That is the correct answer there, A, applications. Because if they're available to all users, it's not user specific. So it's going to be in applications. All right. Now, the next question reads, to protect against urgent zero-day vulnerabilities on a macOS device, which type of update is specifically designed to be delivered and applied quickly? Is it A, a standard software update, B, a rapid security response, C, a full OS patch, or D, an antivirus definition update? Pause the video if you need more time, but your answer's coming in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. It is B, rapid security response. That is macOS's direct security-based update, which is urgent and designed to do security-related fixes. All right. Now, next question reads, a user wants to quickly find a file on their Mac without navigating through folders. Which tool should they use? Is it A, Dock, B, Spotlight, C, Mission Control, or D, Finder? Pause the video if you need more time. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. It is going to be Spotlight, guys. B. Spotlight, you type it in to quickly find what you want. Finder, you have to manually navigate through files. Mission Control shows an overview of all open windows, and Dock is just a little bar down the bottom that you can choose your program from. All right, the next question, hopefully this is the last one, otherwise I'm going insane, is a user wants to perform advanced system management tasks and automate repetitive actions on their Mac, and they need a tool that provides a level of control beyond the standard graphical interface. Which application should they use? A, Finder, B, System Settings, C, Terminal, or D, Disk Utility? Your answer coming in 3, in 2, in 1. It's C, Terminal will give you that additional level of control that you can't get with your typical interface, all right? Now, if you want to be like these people who have passed their 1101, 1102, 1201, 1202 exam, right? If you want to be like this guy who passed his core one a few minutes ago, if you want to be like this person who found my learning guide helps with organized information, if you want to be like this person who said that they immediately saw my learning guide will help immensely with studying, if you want to be like this person who said that my notes helped them pass their test, this person got full marks and are moving on to their Network Plus, etc., you get the picture, then go ahead and grab my learning guide. If that sounds interesting to you, it has notes and practice questions broken down by exam objective. That means you get notes followed by practice questions relating to that specific exam objective. So you can see, guys, in these videos, right? If you look at the questions, it's like question 1, and then question 4, and then question 9, and then 13, and then 18. So all those missing questions are all from this section of my learning guide for this specific exam objective. You also get videos giving you details on exactly how to study. These 2 videos show you how to study, so you will be ready. I don't just give you questions and hope for the best. I show you how to study. And then I also tell you some techniques on how to tackle multiple choice questions if you get a bit confused on exam day. All right, so that's all at journeytocyber.com/1202. Go ahead, head over there. Link is in the description and pinned comment below as well if you want to grab them. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.